All right, my review of the KitchenAid mixer. I've had this thing like 15 years. This is the artisan version. It's in black. I use this probably every week for dough. So I make a sourdough bread all the time, or sourdough flatbread, or pizzas. We tend to do those on the weekend. I use this stand mixer for that every week. About longevity, I mean, it's been going for 15 years. Really easy to use. The lock here lets you raise it up and down. The bowl goes in here. It comes with some attachments. This one, the whipped cream thing, never used it, so I can't really tell you much about it. The dough hook, I use the dough hook all the time. So this is our go-to dough hook for the sourdough. Love the dough hook, really easy. Comes on, goes right on here like this, and then you simply just twist it and you're good to go. So if I'm doing like a sourdough, there's another one that's a mixer. That goes on here. I can mix away, easily pop this off, then add the dough hook. One thing with the KitchenAid too, it's universal, like it has other attachments. So this little key comes out and you can add other things here, like there's an attachment for making sausages, thing for a cheese grater. They got an attachment to make pasta. I don't have any of those, haven't used any of them, so I can't tell you, but I know it does attach here. It's like all these universal mixers tend to do all these things now than just mix. The bowl holds 5 quarts. One thing that's nice about these attachments is they have this enamel coating on them, which are really easy to clean. They have not chipped. They're all, completely solid for, all those years. One thing to remember when using these is you're only supposed to go for so long, and then you got to give the motor a break. This motor can get hot. You can feel it up here getting hot. That's just something to make sure you look out for, how hot it's getting. It has these other settings right here for the speeds. You got stir all the way through to 10. I tend to stay on the bottom there, but depending on your recipe. One benefit too of this thing is like recipes online, so many people use them. So in their recipe, they'll say, use it on speed setting 2 or 3. That's one nice part of having one of these KitchenAids. The other attachment does come with is this shield. Personally, I don't use this shield for anything. So if it's going too fast, if it's spitting out of there, either you got too much in there probably, or you're going too fast. So I don't use the shield. I'll give you a little demo on how loud it is. That's just on stir. So it could get pretty loud. But like I said, it hasn't, we've been using it for years. It works really great. Now, one negative I would give is when you do got a dough in there, like especially sourdough, that thing's cranking, this thing is really working. And this, you think it's gonna fall apart because this is like really jamming around. But it seems to work and never had a problem. The other thing that's a negative is the way this thing locks in there. Quick tip, a real easy tip is don't crank it on there. Just put a little bit, just like that. And that's plenty to hold it in there so you can take it off. If you jam it over there, it's like almost impossible to get it off. So that's just something to consider. So maybe not a negative. I mean, it holds it really well. But, a little tip, just go a little bit on there to hold it. When you have this attachment off, up in here is like where the grease is. I did research it once. I think it was like a food safe grease, but that can get down on this shaft. So make sure you notice that when you're cleaning. And if you're doing something, a stirring and dough, you'll see that it can like work its way up over that. And if it got it on there, there's a good chance you might have got some of that in whatever you're making. But that's my review of the KitchenAid Artisan. It's been great. It's really worked well. So it's great for an average sized family or a home cook. This thing really has worked well over the years. And, the black looks really good.